Get in, Kel. Hold on, let me just dust off the
Oh my God.
the popcorn off the
Look
seat.
at
Come on in.
Wow. I feel like the royalty I should in this bad boy. Oh,
Welcome
we got
to the minivan.
armrests.
Do you want your heated seat on?
Now you're just
Yeah.
bragging. And yes, I would love it. Oh, we're on fiery flames in here.
I like to keep it Arizona hot, like I would say August in
Ooh.
Arizona. It's a dry heat.
You are in your August air. I feel that. Trying to sort us all out.
So welcome to the minivan. This is where I have my conversations, minivan moments, and I really wanted to take this opportunity for people to get to know you better, because I've had such a great time getting to know you the last couple of months.
Thanks, babe. I want to say there's a lot to know, but I'm really happy to let loose in the old mom wagon.
Well, it's nice. Look how spacious.
It's beautiful. You could fit a whole lot. Look at those bucket seats. It's really amazing the things you appreciate as you age.
As you get older. So here's my big question for you. Did you ever see yourself getting into TV?
I have been asked this so many times in the past couple months, and to be honest with you, no. I went to Penn State for radio. I have a degree in telecommunications, and it was just kind of always my dream. I started on a morning show there. And then when I came back, I always kind of really admired all of news anchors, because I was just like, oh my God, I can't imagine having to get ready every day.
Well, see, that's what I admire about radio. Like, I think that must be so awesome to just show up to work.
It really is. It really is.
You can put in as much or as little effort as you want. Nobody at home knows.
No, and your product will be the same.
And it'll be the exact
Every
same.
single time. So I will say it always intimidated me, the getting ready factor. And I want to say that I have never had more respect for yourself and the fellow women at KDKA who do a full face glam, who put on Spanx every day. Like, you're doing the Lord's work. But that always scared me away. I'm going to be honest. I feel like we always said that radio was the kids' table and TV was the adults' table. And now being on both tables, it's an honor. But no, it was never the goal. But I think it's because I never thought I could report news.
Now that you're doing both, and you have 2 kids, young kids at that, how's that work-life balance going? How's that?
Wait, there's a balance? Wait, what? It's good. I will say, if it was not for my husband, it would all crumble. When we started talking about this, my husband from the very beginning was like, go get it.
Oh, I love
Go
that.
do it, and everything will be handled here. You don't worry about this. And if it wasn't for him and my mom and my parents and the village that I built around me, it would not be possible. And my coworkers in radio who were like, you're gonna be a little late because of TV. Go ahead, girl. Go live your dream. If I was not surrounded by people like that, it would never work.
I love that you have that kind of support all around you.
Every single place I look. And then when I walked into TV and me being intimidated because I had watched you all for years, and I knew that we were all kind of around the same age, the same, chapter of life, and everyone was like, we are so happy to have you. Welcome to our family. It could have been so different for me.
Yeah.
And from the minute I walked in, the producers and the managers, everyone at KDK has just been like, we are so glad you're here.
We are so glad you're here.
I mean, it's just...
you're amazing.
Thank you. And it has just been so warm and great.
What do you think is the hardest thing about being a mom?
Being a mom these days is the judgment from outside becoming judgment inside.
Oh wow. That's very deep, Cal.
But it's
so true, though.
It's so true, because you want to say, I consider myself a strong woman. I would consider you one too. But like we were just talking about, the judgment that comes from outside, as if we needed any more help.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes it internalizes. And when I say sometimes, I mean every waking hour.
My thing is, I always wonder, like, what am I doing now that is going to cause a lasting, potentially negative impact on them later?
Well, everything we're doing is going to cause an impact, which I think is frightening.
It's frightening. And the amount that you have to teach them. They are little sponges. In fact, our photographer, Scott, I remember when he told me, do you know that they don't know how to sneeze? Or blow their nose? Like, they don't know. And I remember the blowing the nose.
God, yes.
He's like, you have to teach them how to blow their nose. And I thought, that's crazy.
So minute. And how do you teach that?
Little. I don't know. First of all, close your mouth. You have to.
Oh, please. For the love of all that is holy, close your mouth.
So you have to teach them when you're blowing your nose. Close your mouth.
Give it your all.
I'm going to close this nostril and you're going to blow as hard as you can.
Look at you. 3 in and you mastered it. Did you just master it just now?
Just right now. But it's those little things, and don't you carry that weight with you? You know what? Tonight I have to teach them what the letter L looks like.
Oh my God.
One of the letters.
It is so true. And I also think, and I'm sure that you've gone through this before, the stories you tell on air, because you want to be as relatable and you want to let your listeners and viewers know that you're walking the same path with you, but you're also like, we are recorded in every word that comes out of our mouth.
I didn't care as much probably 2 years ago, but now with my oldest being 9.5, I think, oh,
that's a scary age.
She's paying attention now.
100%.
I need her permission. I need her go ahead on everything.
And you are an example to what she will be introduced to. She will forever be Heather Abraham's daughter. So you want to make sure. You want to make sure, and you so are, you're such a pillar to the community in every possible way, but you want to make sure that when people say that, she's proud. I mean, I know she's proud.
See, now you're putting the
and see what I'm doing?
Thanks, Kel. Well, I didn't need that.
It's what I think about. So now we're thinking about it together. It's the minivan. It just makes me loose.
I don't know what it is about this
I don't know. I just want to divulge. Have a good cry.
I do that sometimes on the way to work.
Well, these seats are comfortable, so I imagine I'd just camp out and
do you know what I find? And I don't know if you get this on your way into work, this whole notion of self-care. To me, I find it laughable because I can't make time for that. Like, when is that happening? And not only when is that happening, but if I take it, then I know that I need to also offer it to my husband. And when is he taking it? That just means less.
See, that's the part that's the caveat. I also think self-care has become so toxic because it's been forced on us to make this time, and then come back to the guilt and say we're not making enough time for us. Are we making enough time for our marriage? What about the kids?
Are you going on dates? Are you doing all the things
that
you should be doing?
There aren't enough hours in the day.
And also teaching them how to properly blow their nose?
Teaching them what L is, what it sounds like, how to write it. But just looking at you now, sometimes getting a coffee, going the long way, turning up your favorite song on the radio, that is self-care. And I think that's why I feel like people have made it so toxic, because it doesn't need to be all that. It could be an eye mask when the kids go to bed.
I'm so glad that you brought that up too, because I almost feel like I don't know that I need the time for self-care. I realize that it has to happen at some point, and that you can get lost in yourself during these years. But at the same time, like, this is my job. My job is them. My job is this,
Right. And it's the beautiful eight seats behind us.
It's giving up the Jeep Grand Cherokees that you can get. Beautiful, luxurious.
It is luxurious. Look at these screens. I know people are like, is this a commercial for her van?
It's not.
We just love it that much. I will say, that this season of motherhood is very much the same phase that any season of when you're a newborn mom and they won't sleep, or they, you don't know whether to breastfeed or do formula, and everything feels confusing. It's a season, it's a phase.
Yeah.
And I would give anything to go back to those sleepless nights, because now my son is almost 1.5 and walking. And it really is amazing how you feel like, my friends and I always say we're in the trenches, and right now we are all deep in the trenches, but it is such a season and a phase, and it ends.
It's over.
And then it's over, and then you will truly never do it again. Once you teach them how to blow their nose, they know forever. You never have to go back.
You're done with that. Yeah. And then they're going to leave the nest, and then it'll just be you
and then you're going. And then there's
that is just the two.
I mean, that's when people get cats. That's when cat ladies are born, and I'm okay with it. Bring on the cat. I'll need more to take care of.
All right, what kind of person are you? Are you goal oriented? Do you like set a goal and try and achieve it, or are you a along for the ride kind of
along for the ride? 100%.
I am too.
I really am. I think that goals, you get in your head about goals, and if you're not meeting them by a certain period or a deadline, then it messes everything up.
I'm kind of, I talk to you a lot about manifesting, and I think it's just the saying out loud. So it's not setting a goal. It's like, I'd like to see this happen.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to go for along for the ride, because I know that I have no real say in most things that happen.
No, when we make plans, God laughs. And I 100% believe that. It was like whenever Kiki and I started doing the 3 o'clock drop on Talk Pittsburgh, and I instantly felt that comfort. And in my head, I thought, I would really love this to be like an all the time thing. Like, oh my God, this is so fun.
This could be a thing.
But if we weren't along for the ride, we would have gotten in our own way. So, you gotta kind of. And I also think kids teach you that.
Yeah.
That you can plan nothing.
Oh yeah, you plan to leave at 10 a.m. and then they decide to spill everything all over the floor, and
it's done.
It's done.
We planned a Valentine's Day night date this past weekend, and a million things happened and we couldn't go, and Mark and I were sitting on the couch having a glass of wine, literally laughing. We were like, how funny did we think we
thought
were?
we could just do this.
We even made a reservation. Who are we?
Foolish. Okay, so with my minivan moment, I want to do a couple of things. One, what is your favorite car snack?
A gummy. I want a sweet gummy, and I want it to be in very quiet packaging so that I can open it here
and not have to share. Are you talking
one.
like soft? Do you want soft gummies?
I want a peach ring. If we're gonna be very honest with you, or a gummy bear of any sort.
And then, what is your most memorable road trip you've ever taken?
I would have to say when my husband and I, it was the trip that we decided to have kids. Mark and I went down to Clearwater, Florida. We rented this killer Airbnb. The weather got bad midweek, so we decided to drive to Miami and follow the sun, essentially. The storm was coming this way. We drove out of it. We drove down the coast of Florida. We just jammed out to music, and I had a child 9 months later.
That's all it took. That's all it took.
That's all.